Great morning, 7:33 a.m. Tuesday, May 19th. And I'm gonna title this video. How I fell short, because it's very important that people know these things, especially when you're targeted, when you're light, when you're a chosen individual, bro. And just seeing how everything goes, man. I mean, just from the music industry to, you know, the games, and what else? It's the court system, just the politics, how everything works in this merry-go-round, how it works, this big circular thing. Just how these people, work with demonic entities, or maybe demonic entities in disguise. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I personally believe, I hear people talk about lizard people, and I personally believe that. I personally believe that, there's actual people here that's lizard people that's not real people. And I feel like there's, what do they call it? Artificial intelligence. I feel like some people, really make a lifestyle out of this and make a job out of this, and they really get paid well. And I feel like some people have some type of device or something in them to where, without a phone, they can receive, like, synthetic telepathy, because just the thing about supercomputers and, us just being hooked up to the internet and shit like that is just ridiculous, man. It's just out of this world type shit, And just with the supercomputers alone, probably what happens is, they sync your mind up to the computer, to the system, and every thought, everything that you think, everything, whatever, it gets sent to the computer, and a code, like it brings a computer code, and that computer code is what you call it, decoded, and your EEGs and all this stuff is decoded, not decoded, but it's like showed up on this thing, and it just shows in words on the screen, like what you think and stuff like that. It's based upon your brain waves and your patterns and shit like that. So and I personally feel like there's timelines as well, and there's probability factors involved as well. There's so many things that's involved, in breaking down a targeted person, a chosen person, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna get back to this though. Like, me personally, how I fell short in a lot of ways is, I'm born an athlete. My parents played sports. It's just natural for me to play sports, and playing sports and being as good as I was, I can think I'm good all I want, but me getting by, like, based upon the next person's opinion about me, okay, well, if I think Quinn is this good and able to, he'll make the All-Star team, or he'll be this, or he'll be that, so everything of me was to entertain and to please people. That was me as a person, just having that background of playing sports and all that stuff. So being that way, it's like, it's a positive and it's a negative, because yeah, from the outside looking in, it may seem good, yeah, making everybody around you happy, being appealing to everybody, But at the same time, not everybody is needed to be, you know, at the same time, you got certain type of people who who may not like you, and they may require less of you, something that's less of you to be, and it's a spiritual battle, bro. It's a spiritual battle, man. Unfortunately, the spirit fell upon me when I was 18, the same time I was in high school. So the same time the spirit fell upon me, it's the same time, I'm coming into myself. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, and I'm trying to figure out like how to put certain things in perspective to align my life up. But when the spirit of God fell upon me, I just wanted to just preach. So I just wanted to be a part of a church and preach, because reading the Bible and just seeing how everything around me is, seeing how pastors and people in church preach, I'm thinking like I have to be in a church to preach for somebody to listen to me. But and once again, I grew up in church. My grandma was a Baptist, so I used to go to church like every Sunday, all day. Other days of the week, used to go to church. So I just grew up with this perception that you have to be a part of church to be able to speak God's word, when that's not true. But I didn't understand that, and just seeing how a lot of people is spiritually dead in the church, and how a lot of people put on the act in the show, and now to see how churches and these mosques and all these religious buildings have a 501c3 and they're tied to this governmental program, it's just sad and ridiculous to see. But once again, it was something I didn't know at the time, and so you know, and when you don't have closure on things, when you don't when you don't have closure on things, it's like it's something that just hunts you and bothers you and eats you away, man. So a lot of times, and once again, me being an athlete, it was just something that was just built into me, to have pride and to, be appealing to people. So, I kept myself well dressed, well groomed, had my mannerisms intact. I make sure certain things about me was very proper and in place, to the point where, you know, I wouldn't come off negative to anyone. But the thing I couldn't understand is I'm doing everything right. I'm not out here doing nothing to nobody. I'm not hurting people. I'm out here like really living an honest way, trying to find a job. I don't got no criminal record, no anything. Everything with me was legit. And I'm trying to figure out like why am I getting so much negativity, you know? And I always got negativity, but it just didn't make sense why people that don't even like know me like that being negative towards me. And I never do no wrong to none of them. So a lot of things I couldn't understand. And especially when it came to family, because certain things they would ask me to do, I would do, but it would still be negative to me and like very rude to me, and I couldn't understand like why all this stuff is happening. Like why is it that and a lot of things I used to get mad at the Most High about, but it was certain principles and things of the word that I didn't remind myself of, just for the simple thing is, the world gonna hate me because the Most High love me type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because they hated, because they hated the prophet Jesus, so they're gonna hate me because Jesus had the Spirit of God. And man, I had the Spirit of God in me. So the world was automatically gonna hate me. But it seemed like the world was already hating me before that. So it was just some of the things I couldn't understand. And once again, me being a people pleaser, just based upon my history and just growing up and playing sports, it was always a war within myself, an invisible war. And it was very, very, very difficult. Just something I was always struggling with, and then it was just a war within myself, man. And then it was like sports was my identity, you know. And it was my identity before I knew who God was. Sports was my identity. And when I couldn't do that no more, it's like I just felt like a nobody. I felt like nothing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those things, you know, just the negativity around me and the fact that, you know, I just felt like a failure because the things I wanted to do is, you know, make it far in it, not entertainment industry, but make it far. Well, yeah, in the NBA or, you know, in sports, which is, you know, every black boy dream, you know what I'm saying? Make it professional and stuff like that. Man, I mean, the thing that bothered me the most is I really had the opportunity and the skills, but it was just these little innocuous things that used to just get in the way, and it used to just make this whole thing crumble. The littlest thing make everything else crumble, and that was just something that used to bother me the most, and I just felt like a failure, man. And I really wanted to just go to the league a few years, come back, and like be some type of guidance counselor or something, you know, for my community. It's something I really want to do, you know, because I knew my calling was to speak, you know, and be a father to the fatherless, you know, because I'm very loving and very caring, and my love is everlasting, and that's just something that at the same time is a good thing. It comes with its shit. Just being very loving and loyal, it was just something that is good qualities, but in the long run, it, you know, it ended up fucking me over. You know what I'm saying? And being a people pleaser, being loving and loyal, those are the factors that in the end caused me to fall short of a lot of things. And, you know, I used to take things very harshly. I used to take things very hard because I'm such a perfectionist. And anytime I stumble in anything, it's like my mind just stays stuck on that misstep I made. And next thing you know, everything else in front of me, I don't see. I only see where I fucked up at, and my mind is just stuck there. So it's a lot of problems with me as a person, you know, because I didn't know how to put shit down and just keep moving. You know, I'm stuck on, you know, I fucked up. I need to try to fix it, put it together because I broke it. And some things you just can't put together. Some things it's not even up to you to put together, you know. So it's kind of like always trying to be a hero. That was just something that was just in me, just being a defender, just a hero type shit, you know. That was just something that was just in me, bro. And I don't know, just a lot of things, man. And then it just got to the point where, you know, like damn, I just felt like damn. My grandmas and all these people got all this negative shit to say about me. I really don't do anything wrong like that. I might as well just be everything that you saying I am. You know, and just consistently around a lot of negativity, bro. You know, a lot of negativity. You know, the Most High say free from Babylon, flee from Babylon, but I'm always in a financial, you know, troubling position. So where the hell I'm supposed to go? So just a lot of things, bro. And then just the grief factor of my life. Just always, every time I get something that make me happy, it always leave. It either gets sick and die on me, or it just leaves and go out of my life. And the fact that that was always the case in my life, you know, for a lot of things, that shit just grief always being a part of my life, bro, and just losing things. And it's like everything to a dog, to, you know, anything of a pet, people I care about, or opportunities, all just go away. And I used to just get so mad at the Most High about it, you know, because I'm like, all I'm trying to do is, be the best person I can be to help other people. That's all I want to do. But you got me stuck in the still space, and it's like I can't move. Like, why am I being blocked from so many things? Why is it that, I can barely get a job with no criminal record, with no anything, with certificates, with credentials, all this? Why I can't get a job? But when I do get a job, why is it minimum wage? And why is it that, I'm always getting fired or put off for some bullshit? Why is all this happening to me, bro? Like, I don't understand. I do what I'm supposed to do at these jobs. I do what I'm supposed to do, and some things I fell short of, as far as scripture-wise go, and a lot of things I fell short of because I didn't understand. And once again, me being introduced to God, His Spirit falling upon me, was in 2012, is the time I was in high school. So it was just trying to just going through the motions, trying to get through high school and all these things, and then at the same time just having the Spirit of God on you, and wanting to do everything spiritual that the Word required me to do, but still just having to get past these certain human-like qualifications, to please not only myself but the people around me. This is something I just always wanted to do, just please people, bro. Just once again, me having a sports or athlete background, that's just something that's built into me that for some reason I can't take away. So there's so many things that weighed in, and then just finding out, how I was targeted for the longest, and I had people a part of my life that I didn't know that was, behind the scenes, setting traps, closing doors, making things extra hard for me just because of who I was spiritually. I didn't even know that, the same people I'm showing love to, the same people I'm caring for, the same ones that's contributing to my fall, and once again, everything of the Word I was definitely trying to be, and just me being so hard on myself, being harder on myself than anybody else, it just, next thing you know, I'm just stuck in the loop, and, I'm creating bad habits, and, next thing you know, I'm smoking. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I'm not reading as much as I should. Next thing you know, I'm just like, it's just so many things, and it was that doorway. It was that doorway of just that no hope and just feeling defeated at times because I couldn't get through certain barriers in life, and opportunities. It just created a doorway of just sin and bullshit that just affected me in the long run along the way. So there was a lot of things that played a role in destroying me and making me fall short, So and just when you always explain yourself and people don't understand you and you're just feeling so lonely all the damn time. And even if you is in a relationship, you still lonely because nobody understands you but the Spirit of the Most High. The Most High is the only one that understands you. And the fact that it's just, you just get real lonely, bro. And so just loneliness and a life of loneliness as well. As loneliness and all these other things just play a role, man. And certain things just got to the point where I started to grieve the Spirit of God. I started to grieve the Spirit of God. And like I said in the word, don't grieve the Spirit. But I started to grieve the Spirit. And I started to, not trust it as much, because so it's like so many things I couldn't understand. It was just so many things I had to go through, and so many things I had to learn. You know. And I learned a lot in a short period of time, which is the cool part. Like, I learned a lot in a short period of time. I learned so much of the word in a short period of time too. It was crazy. And yeah, man, just not trusting the Spirit and being in situations where the Spirit don't require me to be in. And it's like, it's a spiritual battle, man. And even though there's many weapons used against you, as many weapons that's used in this spiritual battle, as many physical people, that's possessed by these spirits and that's operating on the behalf of these spirits. And you have the physical weaponry that's happening. Because I used to wake up with, burns and shit, like microwave burns and shit on my elbow and on my knees and shoulders and shit. I used to be fucked up all the time, like a lot of times. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But now I know it's people using this weaponry against me, physical weaponry. But, when your mind, when everything physical falls on you and gives up on you, because it says in the word, what it says, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. When your flesh, when everything physical give up on you, the spirit is supposed to kick in. The spirit is like a backup source. It's like a backup source. It's that small voice of reason. It's that small voice of good that's telling you where to get to, how to, or not to do something. It's that small voice. That's the good voice, and even it convicts you too. So these are all traits of the Spirit of God in people in general. And another thing, the times I was supposed to trust in the Spirit of God, I didn't trust in the Spirit of God, which at the end of the day is, when you think about it, it's the enemy's agenda, man. That's his thing. His thing is to make you become an unbeliever, make you, make you be, what's that word? Make you be dismayed, make you be just very doubtful. And, it's to basically turn God's anger upon you, because God's love is on you. So that's why your spirit from alive, that's why you still breathing. God's presence is on this earth, which is his spirit is on this earth. So that's why, you can feel good things. There's goodness here. And the enemy's primary job is to deceive you, manipulate you, hurt you, and turn God's wrath against you, because God is the peace in the evil. He weighs the balance of all things. So, and if people look at it how people want to look at it, but on this earth platform, unfortunately, God and the devil work together. The devil tempts you, and God tests you. Which, I mean, when you tempting somebody, you testing them at the same time. But once again, that's just what we're dealing with. And through all of this, God is proving, he is proving, even though God already know at the end of the day, but he's proving, and we're walking through this of, who's worthy and who's unworthy. And yeah, your game stalkers maybe seeing like, the people of the world, or your game stalkers, maybe seeing like, they having such a good time and they got these cars You know, they get the best jobs. You know, they get the world. They have the world, man. They get the world. But they lack the Spirit of God. They lack that internal peace and internal joy that outside things can bring. You know, and that's the truth of the matter, bro. And it's just so much potential I had, man. Wasted because I couldn't understand. And that's just an overlay of my life. You know, so much promise, so much potential, so much, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, but yeah, man, that's the enemy's primary job, to make God turn on you. You know, and the enemy comes in many forms. Enemy comes in many forms, and it's mostly the people closest to you who the enemy uses, man, to get his agenda across. And for that targeted person, for that chosen person, the enemy will throw all of his, he will throw 30 or 50 to 200 of his henchmen. He will throw them all. He will sacrifice them all just to make that one person of God, that one chosen person, that one targeted person stumble, bro. And that's the truth, man. And, you know, unfortunately in this program, people that you grew up with, went to school with, family members, all tied. A lot of them are tied to this program. And when it come down to survival, when it come down to, you know, nigga, either me or you know, people gonna choose themselves. You know, unfortunately in these days, there's no reward for being a hero. There's no reward for honorable sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. So all those things is what helped me fall, helped me, you know, stumble, man. You know, yeah, all these things are just what help me stumble, bro. So all praise to the Most High. I'm out, man. I don't be trying to make a long video because I know people attention span is like very short. So I mean, there it is, bro. I'm out, man.